Hey guys, welcome to chapter 3. This will be just a short video just to kind of orient you, and then we'll get rolling with the real stuff as we go. But first of all, I want to say, we're at the beginning of really the course proper. And what I mean by that is, chapter 1 was kind of history and situating you in the generalities of psychology. Chapter 2 was all about scientific method, making sure you had a really good sense of how science works, how we get to the truth, or at least knowledge. And now in chapter 3, we're going to start chapter by chapter, kind of looking at psychology from various angles, various different perspectives. Some people call it levels of analysis, different levels at which you can try to understand the human mind, the human brain, human behavior. And in fact, in chapter 3, we're going to start at the most biological level. We're really going to talk through how the brain works. Keep in mind, the study of psychology is young as a whole, shortly 140 odd years old that psychology has existed. And when it comes to really being able to kind of watch the brain and see the brain, well, now we're talking more 1980s, 1990s. And so we're talking more 20 to 30 years when we've really been able to kind of get a lot of details about the structure of the brain and to be able to watch it in action. And so this is young. We're still young in our understanding of the brain, and you're going to learn about a lot of what we know. There's times when this chapter will get kind of detailed. There's certainly times, almost all the time, it'll be very biological. And I know not a lot of you, or I know some of you don't love the biological. I know some of you do love it. And so for some of you, this will be the best chapter of the course, and some of you will have to struggle through it a little bit and deal with fancy Latin terms for parts of the brain and all that kind of stuff. So here's my approach going into this. Of course, I'm reading along with you as I go. Because this is a pretty tough chapter and because there's quite a bit you already have to learn, I won't be adding a whole lot of extra information, but what I might be doing is things like telling you about case studies of people who've had specific parts of their brain damaged, or doing other things that I hope will kind of make what you're reading make sense and connect it all up a little bit more. So that'll be my goal. I'll be popping in off and on to give you just a sense going in ahead of time. The way we break things down, the way the chapter breaks things down, is to start by kind of zooming in on the basic processing unit of the brain, the neuron. So we talk about neurons and how they work and how they transmit information. And then from there on, we kind of build up to the brain proper, talking about a lot of the primitive parts of the brain, the midbrain, also talking about what we'll call the peripheral nervous system, which is the part that connects the brain to the body. And then eventually we'll consider the brain in a whole lot more detail, ultimately getting to the cortical tissue and what the various parts of the brain do. It is fascinating. The brain is a fascinating machine. As you'll find out, one of the ways we've learned a little bit about the brain has been through what we call neuropsychology before neuroscience. Neuropsychology is the study of patients with disorders, and we've been doing that for a lot longer than neuroscience. I'm going to introduce you to that a little bit because I didn't see that too much in the chapter here. And then we will, we'll just kind of have fun trying to turn you guys all into neuroscientists, because once you understand all these various parts of the brain and the kind of way the brain and the body interact, that will set us up well for talking about issues like memory, attention, perception, sensation, consciousness, the things that we'll go on to talk about in this chapter. So it's worth taking the time to get a good grasp of this brain chapter and getting a feel for it. It'll be our springboard, and we'll keep reconnecting to it all the way through. Okay, so happy reading. I will see you throughout, and I look forward to talking to you about that thing inside your skull. Alrighty, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.